We're really blessed to have Dr. Daniel with us. He's a very busy guy. He travels all over the world. But Dr. Daniel Shayesta established the organization Exodus from Darkness in the year 2000. His ministry facilitates a ministry to Western churches and to immigrants from the Middle East and Australia and around the world. His mission is to help others understand and lovingly respond to those who do not know Christ. He's the author of 4 books. He's got an incredible story of being once a Muslim and now finding freedom in Jesus Christ. He's got a great story. You are in for a treat, Thrive Church. I feel like today, and I don't want to embarrass you, Dr. Daniel, but I feel like today we are in the presence of one of God's generals, one of the generals of the faith. I really believe that today, and I really believe that God is going to speak to all of us and really strengthen our faith. So I want you to stand, and I want you to give honor to this amazing man of God as he comes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you for the chance. You're going to listen to a man and the story of family who have come from thick darkness. I was a radical Muslim leader and a teacher, and he changed my life in an amazing way. I'm going to give you a brief on my testimony, very briefly. If you want to know the full story, I've got the house I left behind, and is my life story, around 240 pages. Amazing story, educational story. And also I've got other books there. Some copies are here based on suggested donation. Please don't hesitate taking them. Let not money to hinder you. So I'm going to give you a very short part of our testimony to you, and I pray that I give the significant part to you that encourages all of us. I have given this story in more than 2,000 churches in all over the world. It's a little New Testament for me. And God always touches my heart because of his love. I was born in a Muslim family. My dad had 2 wives and 12 children. We were all living together. Because I was a good student, and I was expected also to be good in religious area, so I started to learn the reading of the Quran in Arabic. Arabic is not an Iranian language. It's a very different language to Iranians. Iranians, Persian. Persian is in the family of European language. It's similar to your language. Writing is different. Arab changed, but the communication is the same. So I learned it without knowing what it is. You just memorize it. I became a famous boy just because of my voice. I had the voice to recite it louder. That attracted attention, and that got me very much involved in religious activities, learning, rituals and reciting the Quran and, doing some other ceremonial things. We also learned from childhood that Islam is the continuation of Judaism and Christianity. Moses was a perfect prophet, all other prophets, Abraham and Jesus. The prophet of Islam came to complete the task, to perfect the task. Now, why this is so? Because the prophet of Islam attended the church for about 3 decades. His first wife was a Christian. The church was just a social club in that time, unfortunately. He didn't learn something good, logical, but a lot of Christian traditions and the Jewish traditions are in the Quran. You can find it. And some verses of the Bible exactly there. And the name of most prophets are in the Quran. So Moses was perfect. Jesus was perfect. Muhammad came to perfect their missions. But the Quran says Jesus is the only sinless one. The others are sinners. But if you say to them, look, hey, Jesus is the sinless one, how about I have the Quran, but just call myself a follower of Jesus, you have to be killed. He is perfect. Your prophet is not perfect, but you're not allowed to follow Jesus. Oh, Allah decided so. Well, Allah has done a mistake. Because you cannot perfect the job with a sinner. You have to perfect the job with the sinless. So that was the mindset we had in that country. You never want to become a follower of Jesus Christ. It's costly. But I praise his name. He approached to me from that time. And I have stories with him. He was building stories with me one day to amaze me. I'm going to give you the first story to you. I see some young people here. By the way, you're all young. While I was in grade 7, one day we had a sport class. Our teacher asked us to go and play in the playground whatever we liked. We were 7 boys. One of the boys jumped immediately and took a paper from his notebook, divided it into 7, went in a corner, wrote something inside each, and then folded them, and then came to us and mixed them very well in his palm and said, this is the game. We are taking one each and open in turn that it speaks about our future. So we were trying to really make fun there. And we each took one. And a couple of us were trying to be the last one to open the ballot. I succeeded to become the last one, the 7th one to open it. We were in grade 7, 7 boys. I was the 7th one, opened it. The first one opened, there was written, you'll become a teacher in the future. So we jumped, clapped and raised our voices, just become happy and to have fun. The second one, you'll become a doctor. The other one, an engineer or a governor or something like that. And each time each opened, the excitement was there. Now, I was thinking mine would be the best. Why? Because I was more righteous than them. That's an Islamic mindset. If you're righteous, if you're pastor, you're better than everybody else. You deserve more than others. If you read the Quran, that's the case with the Prophet of Islam. He has every opportunity, and others do not have it. It's not like Jesus. He didn't have a pillow even to put his head on. So I was thinking mine would be the best. And I opened mine. There was written, you'll become a follower of Jesus Christ. That was the most ugly thing I could have in my life. I was embarrassed. It made me angry. And I attacked the boy. And I caught him, and I'm punching him, telling him, I'm going to kill you no matter what happens to me. And other boys worried, and they came to help him to release him from my hand. I was crazy. I was punching them too. While I was punching him, he was crying. He shouted over me and told me, did I write it for you? You saw that I mixed them very well. You were waiting there for the last one. We took before you. We could have taken that. I didn't put in your hand. You took it. It's your problem why you're punching me. It's your problem. My little conscience told me, yeah, he didn't put in your hand, you took it. So I gave up killing him, but I did not play with them anymore and went in a corner, and I was crying there, What a horrible thing happened to me because I was a religious boy, you know. But I never forget, in the midst of that sadness, a voice in my heart told me why it is horrible to be a follower of the most respected prophet. They call it him prophet. But he is respected. Why it is horrible? I never found a response to that question after I gave my heart to Jesus after decades. So stories like this, it just amazed me after decades that he was planning for me. He had something for me. I have other stories, amazing stories really. I don't have time to speak about them. It just even my kidnapped by the government was the story how, the soldiers went to take him. The words I said to the soldiers, they kidnapped me, the religious soldiers of the Ayatollah. And the words I told them, I said, in the daytime I was sitting among you. You could tell me to come. Why did you kidnap me? When I read the gospel, I poured tears. Oh, wow. He was doing this for me to identify with him. A radical Muslim to identify with him. So the stories are amazing, really. Anyhow, I completed my high school, entered university. In the university, I became a radical Muslim. Why? The king of Iran, Shah, was trying to westernize the country. But the radical Muslim clergies, mosque leaders hate the West. They came to manipulate the young people in the country. They taught us that Islam has 10 times more democracy than West. We didn't know that because we didn't know Islamic political social philosophy. Islam just needs a blind obedience. Blind following actually is a virtue. You're a pious, as Quran says. And so we believe that. We said, yeah, we are going to have 10 times more democracy in this country. Gradually, I became a radical Muslim and became the follower of Ayatollah Khomeini. By the way, from Iran, I have come from there. We have come from the Caspian Sea. And became his follower to the extent I even wanted to be seen like him, my face to be like his face. The connection was so strong. And got involved in protests like many other students, and the protests became countrywide. The king of Iran killed some, but eventually he said, am I going to kill all my nation? No. He left the country. And the country fell into our hands with the leadership of Ayatollah. Because I was a famous boy, that's me here, I was initially invited with 2 others to become one of the chief executive officers of this revolutionary army in Iran, which is the source of terrorism all over the world. But I praise his name. Something happened. It didn't work for me. It worked for the other ones. Didn't work for me. And so I didn't go. I was in the Tehran at the beginning of the Revolution 79. Then I saw that clergies are rushing, so thirsty for political position. They had promised us that they wouldn't take any political position because Iranians know clergies. If they get involved in politics, they create mess. They have in their history. But it was for the first time that Ayatollah promised Iranians no politics for us. We just want you to have democracy. But we didn't know you should not trust any Islamic culture, clergy. Because lying is part of Islamic doctrine. We knew that, but we didn't know that our big brother, righteous brother, would be able even to deceive the less righteous brothers and sisters. We didn't know that. So it was too late, because by the time he established the Revolutionary Army and he was the chief commander, but some of us said, no, this is not going to work. This is going to destroy our country. This is going to destroy our own life, so we better to be vocal now. I was one of them. And that brought a death sentence on me. Like many others, the independents were so strong in the first year. Actually, the first president was an independent president, and he plotted to terrorize him, but 3 times plot didn't work, and eventually the president-elect of the country, with more than 80% of people's vote, ran away. And after that, some of us were able to run away, some were killed. I was one of them, kidnapped at night time, took to an unknown prison. My family did not know where I was. And eventually later they discovered. And I was given a death sentence, waiting on death row with 4 others in a cell. All were killed, and I'm here by the glory of Jesus Christ. You remember the ballot? It's an amazing story. I don't have time to go in it. It was going to happen for me. I was going to be his follower. When he has a plan for you, even the entire armies of the world come, they can't do anything. Some of my older friends, without me knowing that, put their life in risk, and they played some game. They were in very high position, and they released me temporarily so I could run away from Iran to Turkey. In Turkey, life was difficult too, because a lot of Iranian terrorists in Turkey, they killed a lot of fugitive politicians. So I stayed away from Iranians, didn't mix with them. Turkish is my mother language. There are many millions of Turks in Iran. I learned Turkish from my mom. So I needed a visa in Turkey, because every 3 months I had to leave that country, go and come in. Therefore, I decided to become a student and enrolled in a master and then in a doctorate plan. I really wanted just visa. I didn't know that was the plan of the Lord Jesus Christ. The major of my doctorate is about cultures, religions, and philosophies. So I needed to compare the major cultures and religions and ideologies, like different kinds of socialism, and to see how they impact the culture of people, their ethics, their personality, their morality, their leadership. Now, before getting involved in it and investigating the different cultures and religions, in my mind already was established that Islam was the best. I was disillusioned with Islamic political philosophy in Iran, but I thought Ayatollahs just hijacked Islam. Islam still is the best, and I'm going to find the best things about Islam. I'd never thought about Christianity, because Christianity and Judaism are always evil in Islamic countries, because they were strong right from the beginning, and Prophet of Islam had no choice but to demonize them so Muslims become careful. So it's in their mindset just to stay away from them. I never thought about Christianity. After investigation, piling all my data, I was amazed and shocked. amazed to see Christianity at the top of the pyramid, shocked to see Islam at the bottom of the pyramid. It's amazing. Nearly 2 billion Muslims think that Islam is the best. 2 billion. But Islam is the bottom of the pyramid. So immature religion. And they call it perfect, and they give their life for it. I was amazed how everything in Christianity, personal value and dignity, amazing. Family, relationship and culture, social culture, organizational culture, yummy, delicious. These words rescue me from 2 hours talking. You know, I have logical reason for everything. He touched my mind and heart in every way, emotionally, logically, and in every way. It was amazing to me. That changed my worldview about Christianity. Disappointed me very much of Islam. But I am not a follower of Christ yet because I don't know him spiritually. Then he opened the door for me to go to a church. It's amazing. To go to a church for a Muslim is very dangerous, especially for a fugitive Muslim who has run away from a death sentence. He doesn't want to have another death sentence. But one of my business partners took my $30,000 runaway, a Muslim, to Germany. I didn't know any of his friends. A church was in contact with him. That caused me to go to that church to get some information about him. So for the first time, I'm going to a church for my money, not for Jesus. I went there. They promised me to find him in Germany. They had many friends in Germany, so they could connect us. I could beg him to give my money back. That caused me to be in continual relationship with them. But to have relationship with them, I had to go to their church because they were working in every day. Sunday they were free, they were going there. I had to go. There was not any mobile phone in that time. I even didn't have phone. I had to go there. Unlike my desire, I'm taking risk. You know, if a Muslim sees me there, that's dangerous. Anyhow, week after week, I found them amazing people. Amazing. I had heard the terrible things about Christianity, Christians, but these people are so nice people. They are so lovely people. They are very kind people. They are honest people. Quran calls them infidel. I said, if this is infidelity, I love it. That's the wonderful infidelity. It was amazing. That helped me to draw my attention to their words. I heard amazing things about God from them. My mind was full of philosophy. You know, I was always interested in philosophy. Philosophical approach. I didn't know the philosophy of God in the gospel is yummy and delicious. I discovered that God in the Bible is the personal God. This is the only God among all other gods, personal God. That you can have personal relationship with Him. You cannot have personal relationship with God in other religions. Isn't that yummy? That you are personally able to have personal relationship with the mighty creator of the universe. And then I had a dream. The following day I went to the church. I heard my dream from the pulpit. That amazed me. In my dream I was in my father's house. There was earthquake, people died, a scary situation. I was alone there, exactly my father's house, old house. Cried to God, I need help. Jesus revealed himself to me in the dream and said, I'll help you come out from your father's house. So I rushed that my father's house collapsed. I woke up, I saw that was a dream. The following Sunday I went to the church. A preacher was preaching there. His preaching was based on those words Jesus says, a wise man builds his house on the rock. In his message, I heard the same sentence, come out from your father's house. Your father's house can be destroyed by everything. But Jesus had built the house for you on the rock. Nothing is going to destroy it. Whoa, that really shook me. I said, what's happening here? You see, I am saying that I had a philosophical mind, but he is working emotionally in my life too. He is truly God. He works in every way to convince you. I said, I'm going to read their book myself. I grabbed the New Testament. That's a death sentence. If you grab a New Testament Bible to read it, and in Iran they find you, you can lose your life. I said, I'm going to read their book myself. Gospel is the most amazing religious book among all other religions books. We don't call it religions, but you understand what I'm saying. It's amazing. I am reading the passages here. There are mighty philosophical passages in the gospel. One of them is John chapter 1. He is the Word. He was Word. The Word is God. That definition is the same in all other religions. What is God? The Word. What kind of Word? The difference starts here. What kind of word? In all other religions, the unknown word. Now, in all other religions, they are following unknown God. Do you follow an unknown person in your life? Do you go to a street and find an unknown person, Madam, sir, I don't know you, but I'm going to be your follower? Do you say that? You don't, because it's not logical. In all other religions, they are following unknown gods. But there I understood the God in the Bible is known. The Word became flesh. Why? To make himself known, to see his glory, to see his beauty, to fall in love by knowledge. God wants his lovers to know him. When you see him, you just fall in love. You open the door of your heart. He comes in, and the other guy rushes out. Because Satan and God cannot live in one heart together. They are enemy. Oh, it was yummy. Yummy philosophy. Relationship. When you have relationship with him, your relationship with Satan is canceled. Oh, what a freedom. That's called freedom. That's what freedom means in Christianity. I finished the gospel for the first time. I saw all other gods and the God of Islam are not real gods. They are made in the image of man. They cannot be true God. I started to read the gospel again. And this time the love of Christ hit my heart, my mind, my conscience. I found that he is the only one has the right definition for love. Unconditional love. All other religions and ideologies speak about conditional love. Conditional love is betraying love. Have you ever said to your spouse, honey, I love you very much, but 85%. Have you ever dared to say, I love you 99.99%? Come on, it's only just 0.1%. I mean, it's no difference really that much between that figure and 100%. Why don't you say that? Because there is a little piece of betraying in it.
No.
That means you're saying to your honey, if a year is 365 days, honey, I will love you with the depths of my heart 364 days, but just one day spent with the other person. You see how ugly it is? Glory be to his name. He is the only one to have a right definition for love. It, strikes me. It was amazing. It was logical. It was true. If you want to build a peaceful relationship with the other people, you need to base your life and faith on unconditional love. If you want to live in peace with other people, you need to follow Jesus Christ. It was amazing to me. Then I was able to understand why these people are so kind, why they are loving, because they are living in the ocean of love of Jesus Christ. I said I have to give my heart to him because I will be able to love my wife, to love my children, to love my neighbors, to love my enemies too, because they loved me and that changed my life. We are now brothers and sisters. Oh my goodness, a radical Muslim from a corner of Islamic country, from a village, has come here in Australia, travels worldwide, and he meets with his brothers and sisters with all other nations. That's amazing. Yes. Nothing can bring people together. Interpersonal relationship is chaotic in all other religions and ideologies. Church, we need to wake up. We need to understand this. You see how Australia is moving ahead. The world really, they are getting away from Christ. We need to help them to understand that there is no beauty in other cultures and religions, but in the gospel. Encourage them. I said, yeah. And I gave my heart to him. And I forgot to show some other pictures to you, actually. This is me praying in an Islamic prayer. And here we were under Ayatollah Khomeini's leadership, preparing young boys and girls, to prepare themselves for, terrorizing other nations, and especially Jews. This is our marriage with my wife. She was a committed Muslim, and because of same interest, we got married. After our marriage, our first child, that's beautiful lady here, Janet, and a photo of the family in an Islamic shrine. And here I became a candidate for Islamic Parliament, independent. Ayatollah's group begged me to become their representative. I was disillusioned with them. I didn't want to be one of his followers anymore. But that brought, that chaos into my life I mentioned to you already. I gave my heart to Jesus. Now I am smiling here, you see. This is an American brother. He invested in his life among Iranian people. A couple of years ago, he went to the Lord. He led thousands of people to Christ. And then my wife and 3 daughters joined me in Turkey. She didn't know I was a follower of Christ. I couldn't tell her. It's not easy to tell your family that you're a follower of Jesus Christ, she could decide not to come anymore and join me, or she could be under pressure. I just wanted her to come and see the changes in my life. And she came and joined me, and the changes in my life affected her. I don't have time to talk about my life to you. I was a horrible husband. If you're a radical Muslim, if you're a committed Muslim, Quran says you can lock her in the room until she dies. You can beat her. That's in the Quran, And so the changes were amazing, really, to her. I was, joyful. I even had, bought an Iranian instrument and put in the corner of the house, learning an instrument. Music is illegal in Islam. Music is evil. When radical Muslims take over, they come to your church and shut down everything. And so I was playing with my children. I was working sometimes in the kitchen, and she thought I had gone crazy. In the second week, she told me, "What has happened to you?" I was terrified. That was the first time I was afraid of my wife. What to answer? What to answer? She is an aggressive lady. Even though I made her life hell, but she's aggressive. If I tell her minimum, she could take the children and go back to Iran. Because she has authority now. According to Islam, if you change your religion, you're not that anymore. You're a servant. Your children should rule over you. That's in the Quran. Quran chapter 9, verse 23. You see what kind of peaceful religion, perfect religion is Islam? People do not know what is written in the Quran. So, what should I do? This is the second week. Lord, why you are rushing, Lord? Why? I mean, you're mighty God. You can give me time. You can. Why you're rushing? Unless you want to come and help me. And I praise his name. He came and helped me. I love the Lord so much. I really do. I don't deserve to say such words. I'm not talking about my, being. Oh, I'm a perfect person. I love it. No. I have seen his mighty hands in my life. I know him very well, but knowing sometimes doesn't work. You need to feel. You need to sense. He came and took over our time there in a mighty way. It's a long story. Really, you need to read my book. She settled down. She didn't leave the country. She didn't go back. My mighty Lord had done something back in Iran. She had vowed not to go back there. Something horrible happened by an Ayatollah. She was afraid because of our 3 daughters. I'm not going to come there. You see, it was done for me, for his glory, for the salvation of the family. She doesn't go there, and she stays there. Week after week, she found, this man is changed. It's not a game. Sometimes you play game. For a while, you're away from each other. Nice in the first, second weekend, No, this is different. Now, this man is not perfectly changed. There are still problems, but he is changed. Oh, wow. Jesus changed him? Gospel changed him? In my absence, without telling me, she was taking my gospel and reading it. She didn't say that to me. Because in Islam, somebody is going to hell, you don't tell that person, I'm reading your book. Because in Islam, Christians and Jews, others go to hell. But one night I caught her with my book. It was around 2 a.m. I woke up, I went to the bathroom, came back to the room, I didn't see her there. Where is she? I became curious, I went out, I saw light was on and she was reading my gospel. I went closer, I said, what are you doing? It's 2 a.m, what are you doing? Oh, you're reading my book? It's amazing. She was reading Matthew chapter 19. Matthew chapter 19 is the best chapter for Muslim ladies, because that chapter says one husband, one wife become only one. In Islam, one husband, many wives. 4 legal wives, as many as concubines. She was a committed Muslim. She knew that, but she never liked that idea. And nobody supported that in Iran. Now, she has opened the gospel randomly. Matthew chapter 19 has come. She reads a little bit and then says, oh, this book is a good book. You see how he's working? I told her that chapter is an amazing chapter. She smiled at me and told me, it's not your business, go and sleep. And I went to the room, locked the door, knelt down there, praised his name. I said, you're the best evangelist. You know how to touch hearts. After that, she took it serious, read the gospel seriously. Gospel touched her mind and heart, and eventually she gave her heart to the Lord. And the Lord changed the entire family and put a smile. And put a smile on their faces. You see the difference? That's the difference between the Prophet of Islam and Jesus Christ. Not only he changed the Muslim family, but he has been using them in an amazing way in all over the world. Well, one part of our ministry is to establish videos, record videos, short videos, and put online to reach out to Muslims worldwide and to prepare Christians and our ex-Muslim brothers and sisters as disciples to reach out to others. I really want to encourage you. You need to love the Lord Jesus so dearly. Logically, it makes sense because he is the number one in everything. Logically, it makes sense. You love the best. You always want to have the best. That's in your heart, You don't take your money, go to a car dealer and say, I have come to buy the worst car. Best, I want the best, please help me. It's in our nature because we are created in his image. Logically, it makes sense for you to love him so dearly. Look, you're a passenger in this world. Praise be to his name. He has given you opportunity. You need to put him in the first priority. Please, if you haven't done that today, so far, do that today. Come forward here, pastors pray for you. I can pray with you. And also, those of you who haven't given his or her heart to the Lord, this is the day. For over 30 years, I have been studying about everything. He is the best. There is no one like him. Commit your life to him. The church here is to touch the life of Australia. God has put you here for this country. To love this country, you need to sacrifice in this world to glorify his name. Thank you so much again for giving the opportunity. God bless you. Thank you.